let's get into it. So, what's the origin story of Timothy D. Bain? That's D is the middle initial.
Darian.
Okay.
I mean, it's so much like so. When I graduated college, I graduated high school 2008, and
because I think we crossed paths when they started going to COB like 2010.
Yeah, I was there. So, and for those first 2 to 3 years, I did not know what I wanted to do in life. So I took CIS, Computer Information Systems, just because I was always techie, but it's cut my I could curse.
I mean, I could put a little SpongeBob.
It was cutting my ass for like 2008 to 20, for like 4 years, right? But at that time, I was not doing the well in school. I still was by the basketball court, basketball. And so my first blog was Music Era with my cousin, Rhythm. It's just like how this was during the blog era. And shout out to people who really understand the blog era. That's how we got the Kendrick Lamar's and the Big Sean. So we were the Bahamian blogs. I was posting like when Mark Miller dropped all those type of stuff. I did that for 2 years, Music Era. And then I started a basketball. I joined the basketball pod and / blog called Keep It Fresh. And one summer, every time a playoff team got kicked out, I just did a article like where does say the Lakers get kicked out. I say where do the Lakers go next? Like I break down cap space, free agents, stuff like that. So that just got people to know that okay, Timmy knows this stuff, and he also is a blogger. 2013. This guy in New York and most of my blogging was like with American people.
Okay, so you already had that somewhat established connections.
Actually, majority like people not so really didn't care for me till like later on. I had a big because of Twitter. Twitter was so I joined Twitter 2009. That was like the
same year as me. Yeah.
So Twitter was because I was in. So I have 3 things I really love: basketball, film, and music. So I use and also when I joined Twitter was when the Dark Knight Rises dropped. So like, my name Dark Knight Rises, and my last name was Bane. So my Twitter handle was Bane BANE. So like, and I also went for Bane that Halloween. So I was building my foothold in film Twitter, music Twitter, and basketball Twitter. So I have those. I was working those contacts from then. It didn't really come home to 2013 when I decided to make the switch to media journalism because at this point it wasn't a bachelor's yet in COB, it was still an associate. So
I know because they was trying to develop it, and I left to go to Atlanta like to get a bachelor's.
So it was an associate in Moscow. And when we say she ain't paying for no associate, so I just was failing over there, and then when I finally get to media journalism bachelor's, I switched. And then that summer, Sports Radio hired me. They still owe me money. I worked there for a full year. And what that allowed me was to use my already talking about the basketball court, blogging with Americans. I got to talk from 4 to 7 with Moses Johnson. Those who know Moses Johnson is currently the head coach of the Bahamas national team. Yeah. So me and Mo used to talk from 4 to 7, just talking. So we talk about local sports and NBA. And I did that for a year. But after 2 or 3 weeks, my boss was like, okay, go over the nice following. I want you to get some college people in here on Saturdays, so that became College Talk 103. That's where Mick, Amo, Ashley, Hermes, Jamie. That's where we had College Talk. Okay. And then after Jamie and Hermes left, we brought Leah. Leah now works to JCN. Okay. And y'all should know Amo's a sports guy for.
Yeah, no, familiar with all those people. Yeah. When you say Jamie Pender?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So
we all let's go way back, and then I know Hermes from I was a child.
Yeah. So it was for a full year. Meanwhile, so I doing journalism in COB. Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock, I doing the Talking Sports with the now coach of the national team. And Saturday mornings, when little webcam was in there, we streamed live to Twitter. So that happened.
Twitter had streaming at that point?
No, they had a.
You had I think it's Ustream or.
Yeah, so whatever
Periscope
whatever Sports Radio was using, there wasn't Periscope yet. That was around yet. Whatever Sports Radio was using, we'd take their YouTube link, it wasn't YouTube, whatever their webcam link was, and we put it on Twitter, and that would, and we invite people who were popular from Twitter on cherry weeks. That kind of grew the audience, and by that April, Ashley was like, "Look, I have a camera, I need something to shoot. You should make a podcast." So that's when I made Who That. And my first guest was Adria because she dropped her first EP.
Amaretto.
Yeah,
I love
she
that.
dropped Amaretto.
She need to drop more music, man. I really enjoyed that project.
She was my first guest, and then Travis dropped Oh Lord 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks after that, which was we know the same. But my birthday's May 5th, birthday's May 6th. So he dropped Oh Lord, and he was my second guest. And then I just started. So I really started Who That. Really Who That people who I know. People who
you sure it wasn't started before that? Because I remember being in it. Because while all this going on, I'm sitting in Atlanta just watching it from afar, and I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing over there.
College Talk.
Oh, okay.
But Who That was April 2014, when Audrey dropped, she was my very first guest.
Okay.
And then Travis dropped, Oh Lord, May 2014. And at this point, I really just wanted to interview my friends who did music, right? And so I did like 10 of them, and I stopped. Then that Christmas, there was this seminar, I Create Music Seminar. And they brought like producers and stuff and all that, and they brought this guy named Focus. Focus is basically Dr. Dre's left hand.
Okay.
HC Boys won the competition, and all of HC Boys got to go visit.
Yeah, because I remember Cookie Caterer. What's his name?
Yes, Greg.
Greg told me like
that was his conference.
Yeah.
Greg did that conference. That's when I met Greg, and my current cameraman Miguel. That's how we really got cool. So I know, but we sat there together, and all of the HC Boys got to go to LA, go on the radio. They got to sit in Dr. Dre's massive studio. Like he has speakers as big as this wall. Like they got to visit that studio, and then 2015 was when I dropped out of college because I was like, okay, my grades done bad enough then because I was failing, but I finally found my purpose. So I went to BTC as a social media intern.
So how you got that position? Because I don't want to just gloss over that transition because that's a decision where it's a make or break type of situation. So
basically that summer, CB basically emailed me and say, look, you've been failing for 4 years, but you kick your ass out.
Okay, so it wasn't because how I saw it, it was like, but I ain't in school no more, but I going to go work.
But this is actually, I've never told anybody this, but this is the story now. So
okay.
it was halfway.
An exclusive.
Yeah, it is. So it was halfway. CB said, look, but you've been failing, you know, you got to get your ass out there. But that year of doing Who That, making three, I got back to Three Amigos, making Who That, Three Amigos, and College Talk, what I could learn in the next 2 to 3 years, I don't know. So a month after Who That, we decided College Talk, we don't need the radio show anymore. We made Three Amigos Media. We were all learning journalism in school, learning photo, video, whatever. Made Three Amigos. At first, Three Amigos was supposed to be a management firm for, like I said, the friends who had Who That. That was a fun summer, you know. Crowds was going, oh Lord, at the parties and stuff, you know. But at the point, it was like, okay, that ain't really, music management ain't make us no real money and that. So we pivoted to photo, video.
Like a media production service.
Right. And then, like I say, Christmas 2014 comes and say, look, even though I find it well in music journalism, the hill of bad grades is too high. I said, look, mommy, I want to drop out. So I figured now I'll just go work to a radio station and make money on the side. I went to Peace and Money for a couple places, but no one was really hiring. PGC had a little intern thing that was going on. I was able to get there. And luckily for me, they were in a position where Live was about to come. So they were just sponsoring everything. So every single cultural or sporting event, BTC was sponsoring. And what the intern job was, I had to go take pictures, do interviews. Of course, and to your mind, you saying at every carnival, John Canoe, Pop Count, or these concerts, who you see there? Timmy. So that happened at the same time I was doing. So I was doing Who That on the weekends. I was just doing BTC every day. So of course it looked like the same thing. It looked like TIMMAY.
You was evolving your brand.
Yeah, and I'm always thankful that everywhere I worked allowed me to be me. And sometimes people don't think I was 9 to 5. They just think that TIMMAY is working for these people. No, I used to be working 9 to 5 for these people. I was able to balance the two.
Yeah, because I remember I heard through, I ain't gonna say who told me this, but there was like one time they was working with you and you had people that you was working for. They was like, they would watch your page to see if you only just doing your work or, you know, you doing a company work, and it's like, it ain't really that serious.
Yeah,
like,
but that's sadly, that is the case because they feel like they paying you a certain salary and benefits but you don't own me. You might own me between the hours of 9 to 5, sometimes after, but you don't own my content outside of work. Yeah. Well, and of course, there's always the balance of, it's being the interviews, they be like, hey, so if we hire you, how much of your time are you? I
get that a lot now because then people be like, "Oh, well, we see you doing all this stuff," and then it's like,
your work getting done, right?
Yeah, it's like, don't worry about that. Like,
is it work being done? Don't ask about my time, please.
Yeah, so I completely understand it. So transitioning. So how long you was at? Because you along the way know BTC and Burns House was around
BTC
this
was
period.
a year and a half.
Okay.
And then I went to Burns House for 8 months. And so the peak of BTC was they sent me the Buddy Hield draft. I got to interview Buddy Hield, cover his whole draft like journey. I went to Burns House like 2 to 3 weeks later. was to collect for like 8 months. When I left collect, I worked on my daughter was about to be born, and that was the peak of when this government was in last time, and it was the last year government was involved in Carnival. All the artists was going to all the islands, so all like Bodine, Dyson, Rick, MDs, all of them was paying for me to cover them at concerts. So, and I also was helping run the page for the actual Carnival. So it's a good time.
Okay, so you was a freelancer at this point.
I left collect March 2017.
Okay.
And that was the Carnival is May. So that from March to May is really prime Carnival time. So all the artists who's performing and the actual Carnival itself, and my current band now, Masqueraders, also hired me then. So literally I was working for the biggest band, still the biggest band, Masqueraders. I was working for the actual Carnival, who was promoting the event. I was working for all the big artists that actually had all the big Bahamian artists. So that 2 months was.
All right, so let's pause right there because we got to break this down. So you say you was expecting a daughter at this time.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the pressures of being a man, expecting a new life in this world, and how you have to mentally prepare for that. Plus, you're trying to climb, I guess, the corporate ladder and establish yourself career-wise. Plus, on top of that, what you people might not be missing is you doing a lot of networking and building on opportunity. So break that all that
so
down.
The issue, I mean, the only pressure at that point before the child's born is money. It literally is just money. Whatever my time is dedicated to, I have to make money. So at that point, like I said, I left collect, not on the best terms, but so it was more of a fair, like, but you about to quit your job and you're jolly in here. But it was the day I put in my quitting, I got Bahamian Masqueraders and Carnival the day of.
Okay.
And they were not expected. BTC recommended me for Masqueraders. And then a friend of mine who's doing the Carnival, she recommended me. So literally, I put in my I said leaving this place today. That day, I got 2 separate calls. It's like, how you even know I needed this? You know, that was crazy to me.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, that's like literally the day of. Like it wasn't even like I didn't have to wait 24 hours. The day of. So and I still a masquerade. I'm leaving here to go to Masqueraders now. This is 5 years ago.
You sure?
That was 27. My child is 5. Is 5.
But I feel so.
This is literally 5 years ago. I still work with Masqueraders. I'm literally going here after I'm going there next. Yeah. And I only got the job because that day BTC decided to sponsor 5 groups. The marketing person of the BTC say, hey, they call BTC say, Masqueraders say, look, I need a social media manager. BTC gave them my number. I say, hey, you come recommend it. Come to the camp. That's a job I still love. Yeah. And I always so Bodine was the first artist I ever worked for. And working with Bodine, then Dyson when he say, oh, I want that. Then Julian say, oh, I want that. Then Ricky say, oh, I want that. And then so that's how that happened. And then of course government changed. After them came in and after them just say, that dead. Yeah.
But the different regimes. One is a little bit freer with spending and one is like a tighter budget, They
say all that you was doing for the last 3 months, that dead. So I used to be in a different island every week. Yeah. With the Regatta, gone. So then I went to work for Atos for a short time. And I would probably say the Atos, but then the monster came.
What monster?
The big monster on opposite the lake.
Oh, Fusion.
So
let's talk about that. So because you known as a public figure, like, wait, Tim, how much job? Like you, they're almost the trouble of the Jamaican father, but you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jobs. So how people how you used to be getting these jobs, and do the employers look at it like, wait, this boy don't stay in one place? Like he just
it's always an explanation. Yeah. So like I said. I don't know. I said earlier, I love movies. So I applied this Fusion just to apply there, and I got the call. It's like, oh, we know who you is. I said, you have to put yourself out there. So my work speaks for itself. So out there, you know what I do. They called me. I did an interview. Job was mine. I was one of the first 3 employees. I took it and we used a room like this big before the building finished. Then I got they got promoted to marketing manager. But of course, and the other monster came with Sillet, the dirty virus. Yeah. The dirty virus came, and as you can see, movie theaters are still struggling.
But I think that being in the film industry for a long time, because of digital streaming, it's been on an incline,
So with the streaming on top of the virus, is killing it. So I would never left if it wasn't for COVID. So everything since COVID has just been trying to find a home. So I went to Live, I went to RF, I went to RWAC, and this, I climbed the salary ladder and the title ladder, but certain things just didn't fit as well as I want them to.
And that's what I was trying to tell my mom the other day. She was like, "Well, y'all generation, y'all quit a job over there." It's like, but that's the only way you get increase in pay.
That too, and also I am going to be unhappy.
And I told her,
and not to say every job I leave I'm unhappy.
Yeah.
But it's more so I leave for more money. You know, like at the end of the day, I have to maximize my worth because at some point, yeah, as you TIMMAY, but it might be the generations thing. There could be someone who under me who have a degree, who have better skills than me, who would be more attractive than me. So I have to find, I can't get comfortable with the salary when I know my peers making more. Or so I always look at, okay, this is what I have things I like to do. I like to go every year. I go to at least one basketball game. I go to a carnival. I go to a concert. I like to watch movies at least twice a month. Like I know what I need to make to live a life, and I'm not gonna just.
And now you have a whole wife and child.
You're right, and so, I'm not going to cut myself short because of happiness of the job. So I always have a number in my mind where I gotta go.